Hi guys, look at us in a different setup. Needs must. I brought a desk in here, I've got my work chair, so I'll probably swivel and it'll be super annoying. Very excited. Couldn't sit in front of my windowsill a moment longer, and I cannot film downstairs because the house is full of people. And that is a house alarm. And the crazy thing about house alarms these days is you don't immediately think, what if they're on holiday? We're just gonna live with it. Let's talk about some disappointing products. I went into my makeup stash, I collected some things that I knew had disappointed me. Apologies if I've talked about these in previous disappointing products videos, hopefully not, but the thing is, I don't often throw things away. Even if they've been massively disappointing, I have this thing in my mind of what if I need them for some reason? What if I need them for another video? What if I see something somewhere where someone says, oh my God, I hated this product, but I used it in this way and now it's amazing, and then I'm going to be kicking myself for getting rid of it. So some of this stuff may have appeared in previous videos. I don't believe that it has, but apologies in advance if you've heard me talk about it before. I had to take a moment because that alarm was driving me crazy. Right, we're going to start with some base products. Another little disclaimer. Some of these products you might love, in which case please let me know why. Maybe there's something I'm missing. But also some of these products, there's nothing wrong with them per se. They might not be terrible products. They just disappointed me for some reason. Either I expected too much, or they were very expensive, or whatever it might be. They could be super overhyped. Or just I really, really wanted them to be good and they weren't. So disappointing doesn't necessarily mean they're terrible products. It just means that for some reason they disappointed me. And the alarm is back. We're starting off with some foundations, both of which I've spoken about not that long ago. One of which had its whole own video very, very recently you may have seen. If you want to go and check that out, it's available to watch. It's the Revlon Photo Ready Instant Filter. The main problem with this was the applicator, which I pulled off. Had a big sponge tip that you were supposed to sponge onto your face and then blend out with. It was horrible. The worst sponge I've ever used in my life, but everybody knows if you are going to apply something with a sponge, you usually dampen the sponge first, and that's not really something that you can do when it's attached to the foundation. It was just a terrible idea. It wasn't a sponge like you get on the Maybelline Age Rewind. That's like a much spongier sponge. This was more like a blender type sponge, but it was kind of like a magic eraser type texture. Really not great at all. Applying it without that, so I took this off, squeezed it onto the back of my hand and applied it with a brush. Much nicer foundation. If it came with a pump, I think people would like it more. Unfortunately, that kind of ruined the whole thing. It's not easy to get out once you take this off. It's a messy thing. And it's still not all that great of a foundation, but like I say, this is one of those things that it's not necessarily a terrible product, but something really let it down, and that was the functionality of the thing that came with it. Makeup Gallery Flawless Long-Lasting Foundation. None of those things apply to this. This is a Poundland product. So yes, okay, it was £1, but I did an entire video on Poundland makeup and there were some really good products in there. I would highly recommend you go and check that out. There were some products that I would still use now, regardless of price. I don't think it's a matter of you get what you pay for, because there are some amazing products out there now for a very small amount of money. And someone still signs off on these things as worth like putting out there as a brand. So just to say, oh, well, it's only £1. They still thought this was good enough. Someone still said, oh, it'll do. It's only £1. I feel like in a situation like this, they really do think, well, no one's going to complain because it's only £1. They know it's not good when they put it out there. And if you have tried this, I need to know if you like it, because I just didn't understand. There was no coverage. It just wasn't nice on the skin. It didn't last. Nothing about this was worth trying. And that's not to say Poundland makeup isn't, because a lot of it is. Something that really disappointed me, because I saw this and thought it was going to be amazing, when I got really into setting powders under my eyes, like just here, it kind of knocks out the hollows right there, which I recently discovered is something you can have filled. The one and only injectable procedure that as soon as I heard about it, I was like, what? Here, people, and I'm not going to do that, don't worry, nobody needs to do this, but people are having this part filled, which I completely understand. I don't have dark circles, but this little area of my eyes always makes me feel like, because I'm oily, I just want to kind of knock the shine out of there so that it's not as obvious, because I feel like it makes me look like I'm tired. I don't know. We all have our own stupid little things about our faces, don't we? So I got really into, last year, these kind of under eye setting powders and these blurring things. Love the one from e.l.f. It's in a teeny tiny pot. Saw this and thought, wow, okay, HD blur setting powder. I like it here and here for my pores. I thought this is absolutely perfect. I've been talking about wanting a product, basically describing exactly what this was, saw it on the shelf, Collection Primed and Ready HD Blur Setting Powder. Get it in my basket. I wore it a couple of times and thought, this is great, I love it. And then I went to work one day, most days, once upon a time when we went to work, and I remember looking in the mirror in the middle of the day in the bathroom, and I was just like, there is glitter all over my face. And I got my friend to look at my face and she's like, yes, there is glitter all over your face. And I'm thinking, I'm not even wearing eyeshadow today. I don't understand, trying to figure out where it had come from. I got home and looked in this. It is full of glitter. But little did I know that most of these HD powders are full of glitter. One that is not, I believe, I've got right in front of me right now. Let me just see whether or not this is actually true that it's not. I don't think that it is. Loads of them are, absolutely loads. I've got a Charlotte Tilbury one that is. No, this is not. This is a Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. The Vichy Derma Blend isn't. There's one from Technic that isn't. I like that kind of powder, something that's giving me a very finely milled, very blurred kind of really, really soft focus powder. But I do not want anything that says that it's like luminous or that this is the blurring element. It has kind of, is it mica? You know, once upon a time, when there were all those paparazzi photos and all of those celebrities looked like they just kind of like face planted a load of cocaine. It was just white all over their faces and you couldn't see it in real life. And then the moment that the flash bulbs, this was when it was all quite very new. It's corona brain, that is. That's not talking to a lot of people. It's just my vocabulary and my general speech has gone way downhill. I found myself like 15 times a day going, what is the word? It drives me up the wall. So all of these little particles would all of a sudden be kind of glowing on the face because that's what's reflecting light, you see what I'm saying? And creating that blurred effect. It's what makes you look perfect in real life. But then once light is directly shining onto your face, glitter. And I'm not into that. I basically try to avoid anything that makes me self-conscious during the day about whether or not someone can see something on my face. Like if I know that I've looked in the mirror that morning and that all looks cool, if I know that potentially if I stumble into direct light, someone is just staring at a glitter ball face, that's not for me. That's not for me at all. It might look nice on camera, which is possibly why I've kept that. It's something that I could use up for something like this, but it's not something that I'm going to want to wear like out in the world. And so very, very disappointed. And then it made me look at all of my other powders as well. But I do think that this particular one is like way more glittery than others. The other base product that I've got, which was a disappointing one because everyone said it's amazing, is the Tarte Shape Tape. Now, I just don't get it. I don't understand the hype at all. This, I think, falls into the category of people on YouTube. I want to know if you are a regular person who does not make videos and you are over 30, maybe over 35. If you're over 35, I'll take a little bit more attention to your review. And I don't mean to offend anyone under that age, but the specific reason is it's very unforgiving. It really falls into a lot of lines. It's a very heavy concealer. It's when you see people apply it, it's just like all over the face. And I just don't think that looks good in real life. I think there's very, very few people, even people with perfect skin that are very, very young. I think that once you actually get them out into the daylight and you look at their face, I don't think it looks good. I really don't truly believe. I think there's a lot of products on YouTube that are being pushed as, wow, these are amazing products, that are really media makeup. They're products that look good for like Instagram makeup, but they're not actually products that look good for real life. And I think this is one of those things. Now, I'm sure there's a way of making it work, you know, blend it out a small amount, yada, yada. It's a difficult product for me to work with. I still occasionally try to use it, but every single time I do, I regret it because it's just too heavy for me, no matter how I apply it. I do really like the Shape Tape foundation. And I bought that as part of some kind of set. What I wanted to try was this. And I think they were doing something where you got like 15 products or something crazy, like a makeup bag. In fact, this is the makeup bag. You got a makeup bag full of stuff that you got to choose from certain things. And I think it was like £40 or something. It was a really good deal when Tarte first came to the UK. And what I really wanted was this. Wasn't included in that. So I got that. Plus I paid full price for this. Complete mug is what I am. But one of the options in it was the Shape Tape foundation. And that's something I would never have picked up normally. But it's much more hydrating. A really nice product. Something that you can blend out really, really nicely. Totally different animals. If you are considering that, or you like that and you're maybe considering this, or you don't like this and you're thinking, well, I'll really dislike the foundation. They are not the same product at all. I don't understand why they're in the same family of products at Tarte, because they're just nothing like each other. And if you love this and you are in my category of skin and whatever, please tell me what you're doing to make it work, because I just don't understand. Right, I have some kind of colour products, but I'm going to just talk about a mascara. I think this is the only thing that maybe I might have talked about before in a previous one of these, but it's been a long time since we did a disappointing products. And this is relatively new, like was it a year ago or 2 years ago? Oh my God, it was 2 years ago. I might have spoken about this before. I don't like it. Bad Gal Bang. In fact, it's barely been used. I think I'm going to give it to Ella because I think she does like these. It's still good because I've probably used it 2 or 3 times. It says bigger, badder, volumizing mascara. Nothing about this. Nothing. It's too flexible. Do you know what it reminds me of? That Benefit, I was going to say Roller Lash, but it's not Benefit at all. The Maybelline Rocket Lash was it called. And it's got like the shortest bristles and just a thick barrel. So the bristles are so small, I don't get it. They're not combing through your lashes because they're just teeny tiny and too flexible. They're not like spiky enough. I don't understand. I don't. One of the very few mascaras that I've ever tried and immediately thought, why? I don't understand this product. And it was so popular, and I just don't know whether it was so popular because it was such a big, they like sent people away and it was a massive launch, and I don't know. But I don't like it. I don't like anything about it. Okay, Kula Products. A couple of these were very, very new. This one, I bought these in New York in January, and there were no testers because it's not a thing. There are very few places that you can find testers in American drugstores. So this I purchased thinking it might be like the sheer cute lip gloss I was looking for to replace my Dior Lip Maximizer, and I thought it was kind of the right colour. I don't know what possessed me. I obviously wasn't reading it. It says glazed, super intense colour, extra glossy finish, lip paint. Nothing about, if you look at this colour and you read that, this is exactly what this is. It's no fault of this product at all. This is a very intense colour. I know this is like a very bright light, but a very intense colour, super glossy lip paint. It's not sheer. It's not, and when I try to sheer it out a little bit, it does not work. It's just patchy and not very nice. This is disappointing because I'm an idiot and didn't read what it actually was. I looked at it and thought, ooh, glazed. And I think that's all. I thought glazed sounds like a sheer wash of something, like a glazed donut. It's not what this is at all. I am completely to blame for the fact that I don't like this product, but it was just insane. Now I'm keeping it because I'm thinking it might work nicely over the top of some kind of neon-y corals that I like to wear in the summertime. So we'll see. But for what it was disappointing because I'm an idiot. The other thing that I got at the same time was this Maybelline Cheek Heat, which I believe is now available in the UK. It's supposed to be like a gel cheek colour. Bear in mind, you can just ignore the other swatches on my hand. I was swatching some brow stuff earlier and I couldn't easily get it off. Right, so that's this. And it's not bad, it's just kind of not what I thought it was going to be. And when I tried to wear it on my cheeks, I found that it blended out to be quite patchy, just not cute, not particularly nice. As I'm blending it out to my hand now, I'm struggling to get it all in one area as a nice, just kind of blends away to nothingness, but still leaves little patches of colour. I like the idea of it. I like a sheer wash of colour. There are some products that I've got that do a similar thing to what this is claiming to do. Maybe I need to work a little bit harder with this. I'm putting this in here because it was initially disappointing, but also because it's still a relatively new product. And I'd like to hear from you how you apply it if you really like this, because I want this to work, but I just don't think that it does. And lastly, this looks well used, but I'll explain why, because it's not well used on my eyes. This NYX Ultimate Edit Petite Eyeshadow Palette in Brights. Aptly named. I bought this last year because I was getting quite into wearing like all over my lid, one shadow colour. And I thought this was perfect. Inexpensive, lots of different colours in here. I was really into a yellow, which this is not the same thing. I got a Huda Beauty palette, and there was a yellow in there. It was so beautiful. I'm not a yellow eyeshadow person, but I swear that one particular yellow was so pretty. I would wear it and just wear a little bit of winged liner, and I just loved it. It was just so gorgeous. And so I picked this up thinking, well, I know I'll wear the yellow. I like the coral colour. Everything else is kind of just a bit of a test run. It's not too expensive. But they're all really blah. Like, you can swatch them on your fingers and they look kind of okay. Like, they look like bright colours, nice enough, whatever. But then when I actually put them on my eyes, they're just not that great. I don't know if you can tell, but they kind of look a little bit... I don't know, just like, There's not a lot of pigment. When you actually apply them, you have to layer and layer and layer. And then they look a bit cakey and chalky and not great. It's just not very nice. The yellow one on camera looks kind of all... I mean, even, I don't know, maybe it's the lighting. It looks kind of a little bit muddy and green, which it doesn't. But they're just not very nice formula of products. If you want something as a bit of a pop of something for liners or something like that, maybe it would work. But if you want a really nice workable bold shadow, I just kind of think it's a waste of money. I didn't find these to be particularly nice eyeshadows. Haven't tried a lot of NYX eyeshadows, but this has not sold them to me. So that's everything that I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully, in this whole like thing that we're in right now, I know personally I'm trying not to spend money. I'm failing in certain areas. We'll talk about that. I'll do a video on the things that I've purchased during lockdown. I've done pretty well, and makeup wise I've not bought anything since middle of February, beginning of February, something like that. I've been on a no-buy for quite a while, and I feel very proud that I have managed to sustain that. But I have purchased some other things, so there'll be a video. But in terms of makeup, like, you know, if you want to treat yourself, treat yourself. But I don't want to be responsible for pushing any products on you guys at the moment. Nobody knows financially what situation we're going to be in at the end of all this. And I just don't want to kind of contribute to that. So we're going to do some kind of anti-hauls. We're going to do some more disappointing products. We're going to do shop my stash, stuff that encourages to use stuff that we've already got. And if you've got any particular suggestions or requests in that arena, then please let me know, because in the same way that I don't want to be encouraging myself to purchase things just to talk about here and then encourage you guys, you know, I don't want that to kind of knock on, because I think all of us could be a little bit more financially sensible right now. Hard as it is, because I totally get it. I am a comfort shopper. I'm someone that leans on shopping to make myself feel better when I'm anxious. And so right now it's tricky, but just think how much more anxious we'll be at the end of this if we spent all of our money. How much nicer will it be to start saving a little bit of money as you're thinking of purchasing these things? Maybe you were thinking of buying one of these things. Instead of buying it, put a little bit of that money aside in a different account or whatever, you know, just like think of that as savings. So at the end of all this, you can have a big blowout. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. That's what's getting me through the shopping cravings. But yeah, if you've tried any of these things, you agree, disagree, let us know. Thanks for watching, and I will be back with another one next week. Bye.